Hello, everyone, I'm Miles. Today, I'm very happy to share with you some of the most basic concepts in economics. I hope this will be helpful for students studying AP Economics and those at the college level. Some of the most fundamental concepts in economics are GDP and GNP. D stands for domestic, G stands for growth. So GDP is growth domestic product, and GNP is growth national product. So please pay special attention to the D and the N. D stands for domestic, which means it's a geographical concept. What about N? N stands for national, meaning it's a concept based on nationality, right? So in this case, let's take a look and deepen our understanding of the difference between these two concepts by doing some exercises. This is what we always emphasize as the solve to learn concept, understanding better through practice. All right, Kelly is a US citizen working in Dubai, earning some wages. So which US? Economic measure does her income affect? Okay, which ones does it affect? First, Kelly is a US citizen. This already proves that her income definitely counts toward the US GNP, so D is definitely correct. Next, let's see if it counts toward US GDP. She's working in Dubai, which is in the UAE, not within the United States, so it definitely does not count toward US GDP. Because we've emphasized before, D stands for domestic and N stands for nationality, so the answer to this question is B. By working through this kind of question, you can see that the concepts of D and N are actually quite clear. Of course, it's possible that if Kelly worked in the US, her income would count as both US GNP and US GDP. All right, after finishing this question, let's look at a more complex one, which is the Ohio-London profit model. In this question, there are three variables. X is that Japan owns a company which produces some products in Ohio. For example, Ohio. Honda is a prime example, as it has many factories in Ohio. Y refers to the profits that Honda makes and then sends back to Japan. So it's clear that X and Y represent Japan's GNP and America's GDP, respectively. What is Z? It's when an American company, like JP Morgan, earns some profit in London and then sends it back to the United States. So in this situation, let's look at which one among A, B, and C is correct. Let me emphasize again, what does D stand for? Domestic, meaning it's a concept based on the place of production. And what about N? Nationality, which refers to the producer's identity. So the difference between D and N is actually a very clear concept. So in this situation, X is definitely part of the US GDP because it was produced in the United States. Alright, Y is also part of the US GDP, but it's also counted as Japan's GNP because it was produced by Honda, and Honda, of course, is a Japanese company. As for Z, that's produced by an American company in the UK, so it must be part of the US GNP, but it's counted as the UK's GDP. So in this case, you can clearly see what the answer is. It's C, because A, B, and D all have at least some parts that are incorrect. I hope that through this presentation, everyone can have a clearer understanding that GDP is really about productivity, while GNP is about the producer. These two concepts are actually very easy to understand. With this basic understanding, you can use analogies to tackle questions about GDP and GNP. Alright, see you next time.